Is astrology a guide to aid us in mastering the universe? This is the Cosmic Community Podcast with Galactic Ambassador Stacey Dredd. Hey everyone, thanks for being tuned in to KPOV 88.9 FM, your high desert community radio in Bend, Oregon. I hope you're having a good day. This is Stacey Dredd, Galactic Ambassador in the Cosmic Community. Our astrology program here 4:30 to 5 p.m. every Tuesday, where we discuss the week's planetary and lunar influences, how the energies may be working and felt in our day-to-day. And also we discuss how to live within the cycles of the universe to create a more benevolent life for all. So thank you so much for making time and space in your day-to-day to receive these messages. You can always access the archived program at KPOV's website. That's kpov.org. And you go to the Cosmic Community show page. You can listen to this program for the next 7 days until the next one hits the next Tuesday. So that's how that works. You can also follow me on Facebook and YouTube, the Cosmic Community Astrology, and hear a rebroadcast of this program Saturday at 9 a.m. So this is the last week of March, as you all know. And in my show today, I like to do the monthly breakdown, which I'll do the second half of the program for the entire month of April, because we are staring it in the face and we need to dive in and see what types of energies are going to be available to us over the course of the next month, and just how to work within the lunar cycles and how the rest of the planetary energy may be playing in and feeling. So I'm bringing this report to you today, March 28th, and all the times I'm mentioning of our West Coast, Pacific Coast times. So on March 28th, we start with the moon in a conjunction with Mars. Of course, we've been watching the moon move over the top of Venus and kind of stretch out above her. And then we have today the conjunction of the moon going right over the top of Mars. And so this brings in that Mars energy. The moon is our mood. The moon is sort of the general feeling and vibe of the day. And Mars has just entered the sign of Cancer just last week. And so Mars has a fresh energy to dive into here. Mars is the warrior god of the zodiac, the physical fighter, fighting for the things that matter the most for the individual. Mars represents the zodiac sign of Aries. And so bringing in more of this Aries energy as it is Aries season, and the sun, Chiron, Jupiter, and Mercury are all in Aries. That lowest zodiac sign that's on, just kind of speaking for astronomical purposes here. So when we're looking out at the night sky, hopefully you have gotten a look at this planetary alignment that's been going on, because I think it's going to be cloudy tonight, and tonight's like the best viewing for it. But there's a couple more nights where you can catch all of them. So hopefully it clears up tomorrow night or the night before or the night after, so that we can catch it, or you caught it the night before. But Aries is that lowest constellation right above the horizon when the sun goes down. And so we have Chiron, the wounded healer, Jupiter, the big giant shiny planet of Jupiter, and Mercury, the the planet of communication, all in Aries. So there is like some big, fiery Aries action available to us. Mars having this fresh energy, after moving into the sign of Cancer, and the moon making a conjunction with Mars, today. And so this is, bringing in the emotions, that surround some of this. So maybe we have taken action on some things recently that we knew we needed to do so badly, or we know that there is something that we need to take action on so badly right now. And so this is the kind of thing that comes in when you have the moon and Mars coming into a conjunction. You kind of have this energy of, I want to go and do something. Mars represents the physical body. So we actually want to move our bodies. We want to make something happen. We want to start something, move in a direction. That is Mars energy. And the moon is like showing us how we feel about that, right? So we may be having some types of emotions or some feelings about, taking action, and wanting to do that, at a rapid rate when the moon and Mars, are together like that. This week, we also have some really beautiful energies up for grabs. If you want to grab them and work with these energies, that's what the astrology is about. We study the weather out there in the cosmos, and then we decide what types of clothing that we'd like to and tools that we need to have with us to weather the weather, right? So we're just talking about going where the weather suits your clothes, but with astrology we can energetically clothe ourselves and be ready for these cycles and for these energies to come in. So, a couple of fun ones. We do have Mercury and Jupiter fresh off of a conjunction, the two planets coming together. If you were able to see these very, very low on the horizon is where these ones are. I don't even know if we can see them with our mountains. You'd have to be like really low down, on the ocean would be a perfect place to see this Jupiter Mercury conjunction, right above the horizon, right after the sun, goes down. So special moments, Mercury, the planet of communication, of our mind, Jupiter being the planet of enthusiasm and, kind of exaggeration and making things really big. We might have a week of some exaggerated big communications that come in, or we might have some pretty big, optimistic, limitless thinking going on. Of course, the thinking being the planet of Mercury, and Jupiter being that enthusiastic, optimistic, opportunistic energy that we can use, within our mental state. We're feeling extra positive, extra enthusiastic in our mental state, open to possibilities. And then also on March 30th, we have Venus coming into this conjunction with Uranus. Now, this one's been building, of course. Venus, the faster moving planet, moving over the top of Uranus, and this is happening in the sign of Taurus. Venus is the planetary ruler of the zodiac sign of Taurus. She's very much at home here. She is the she's the goddess of love is what her planetary archetype represents. She also is the representation of money and also of values and our value system and the way that we value things. And so Venus is like the pleasurable things in life, soft fabrics, delicious foods, textile things, sensual. She's very sensual. And so here she is in her home sign, feeling very comfortable, wearing her most favorite satin nightgown in her home sign of Taurus, and very, very happy there. Now she is going to be running into a more of an electrical energy with Uranus. And so, like I was saying, Venus is feeling very comfortable. She is like kind of reveling in the good things in life when she's in Taurus. It's like home base. Remember when you were a kid and you played the game Chase? Very, very simple game. But there was one major part to that game that made it playable for everyone. And that playable thing, that one thing about that game was that there was a home base and you could go there and you could rest. And that was like essential. Even if it was 5 seconds or you needed 5 minutes to rest, you could take as much time as you needed at home base. And that is kind of what the feeling is when a planet sits in their home sign, when they're just like in their most comfortable state. And Uranus is a more shocking energy. Venus is going to come into a conjunction later this week and have a sudden awakening, some type of surprise or something spontaneous that it just happens like a lightning bolt. Boom. Venus moving over the top of Uranus. This is going to be within themes of Venus. This is surprise money. This is surprise love. This is sudden. This is like people falling in love because Venus is so strong in her home sign. This is like the ultimate in the seduction of a woman. You know, we're in this very seductive state with Venus and Taurus, and we don't even know it. So very interesting stuff for this week. And then, of course, we continue on into April. And the astrology starts to change quite a bit. I've been mentioning the fact that we are going to start seeing a lot of this forward momentum, this forward moving energy start to take a little break. We have planets going to be doing their own little home base time when they do their retrograde cycles starting in April 2023. This is Stacey Dredd, your galactic ambassador in the cosmic community. 444-444-4444. All over my clocks here. That's my favorite number. That means that I'm in the right place at the right time in the universe. So thank you so much for being here. If you have any questions for me or you need to get a hold of somebody in the community, that can happen. You can email me at thecosmiccommunity@kpov.org. Send me any recommendations of star or planetary influenced, cosmic influenced music. Of course, I play that too at the beginning and end of the show. And you can always see what I play by looking on kpov.org, and you can see the songs that I play in the playlist if you're ever curious about that. So moving into April, I mean, yeah, there's definitely been a pretty intense forward projection over the last couple of months. You may be able to see it in your own life. You may be able to see it within realms of things that you do in your life. Maybe, things being reflected at work or at home or whatever. And lots of new energy has come in just in the last month. So it has been quite a shift. And we are going to need to spend some time at home base, taking our breath and getting sort of reacquainted how to work within the realms of this new energetic cycle that we're in. We've had Pluto move out of the sign of Capricorn into Aquarius. We've had Saturn move out of the sign of Aquarius into Pisces. We have had Mars in a long retrograde in Gemini, finally moved out of the sign of Gemini and into Cancer. And so this is, it's just been a big time of shifts. We have another big shift coming up too. That's going to be when the nodes shift into, this is going to be moving out of the Taurus Scorpio axis and into the Aries Libra axis. So we'll chat about that when it comes up. But just knowing that we are entering the month of April, having, been through a lot and having, I don't want to say having the rug pulled out from underneath us, but in a way, having had the rug pulled out from underneath us, shaken up, shaken out, and then put back underneath us. And it's like, okay, this is a totally different surface than I'm used to. So entering the month of April, just know that it's going to be a month where we are going to be getting our footing. We are going to be adjusting to the new energies that are coming into play. And one of those happens right at the top of the month. Mercury is a fast-moving planet, of course, and moves into the sign of Taurus. I just spoke a lot about Taurus things, tactile things, sensual, ruled by the planet of Venus, so very sensual, very much all about gathering resources and tools and material possessions. And so Mercury is going to be entering the sign of Taurus and moving pretty quickly, although Mercury is going to be slowing down fairly soon and going to be moving into a retrograde cycle. And so expect that as the planets start to slow down and move into retrograde, that everything like our mind, our mental capacity, our energy levels, they all start to wane just a little bit too when these planets' energies wane. On April 5th, we have the sun coming into a conjunction with Chiron. I mentioned Chiron just earlier. Chiron is the wounded healer. Chiron is our wounds that make us superheroes. And so whenever anything comes in touch with Chiron, we always get in touch with our inner wounds and the things that truly have challenged us in our lives to then step up, and work with those wounds, work within the boundaries, that are created by whatever that is, and to move forward with it. So the sun is going to reveal, it's going to illuminate. The sun brings light and heat everywhere it goes. So we're probably going to have some type of understanding of something within our inner wounds, within our wounded warrior character. How is it that we can use these challenging parts of ourselves, these challenging points in our lives, to then turn around, become that stronger person, level up, and then turn around and use your wounds, to help other people. And so that's the idea. And on that same day that we have the sun in a conjunction with Chiron, that's also the full moon in Libra. I almost said the full moon, but maybe that's like some type of Freudian slip or something. Watch out for being fooled on this Libra moon, I guess is what I needed to say. The full moon in Libra. Yeah, this is on April 5th. And Libra is all about cleanliness, organization, harmony, balance. So this full moon in Libra is going to be begging us to stare our wounds down, because we have the sun in that conjunction with Chiron. So this is all part of the full moon. It's going to be illuminated that day, and it's going to be part of this part of this this culmination of this full moon in Libra that is going to be shown to us how to balance and harmonize, these parts in our life to be more at peace. That's what Libra is all about. Libra is also about relationships. So this is like the big relationship full moon, lots of relationship energy up for grabs there on April 5th. And just moving forward into the month, we also on April 10th have a planet moving into a new sign, and it is the planet of Venus. Venus is moving fast, right? I mean, on the day that I'm talking to you, Venus is just at 14 degrees of Taurus, and then by April 10th, she is going to be moving into the sign of Gemini, leaving, the fancy nightgown behind and, she's going to have to, put her windbreaker back on to enter the air sign of Gemini. And, also, Gemini's all about relationships too. The air signs are about relationships. So there's something this month asking us to pay attention to the relationships in our lives. Venus going to be moving through the sign of Gemini for a few weeks. And so we'll have this energy up for grabs. The full moon, of course, in Libra, we feel that energy for a couple of weeks moving in and a couple of weeks moving out. So if there are things within relationships, things that need to be aired out, the air signs are a good way to just talk through stuff, and then you can just kind of move on after everybody's at like a better, harmonious, balanced understanding of what's going on, right? It's a give and a take in conversation. So that's what Libra and these air signs and Venus's movement into Gemini really represents for me this month. That is still early on. That is April 10th. And there's a lot of stuff going on. We, on April 15th, have the moon coming into a conjunction with Saturn. And on the 13th, the moon making that conjunction with Pluto and coming through the gambit of the planets. Again, everything's really bunched up into one part of the zodiac. We have a lot of energy focused in Pisces, Aries, and Taurus, and this is going to be broken up by the mid to definitely by the end of April, but by the middle of April, this week we speak of, by the time the moon comes back around to Pluto and Saturn on the 13th and the 15th, things are going to feel a little different. Things are going to be a little more broken up. It's going to be a little extra breathing room. Then the moon conjuncts with Neptune on April 17th. Neptune's really strong in Pisces. Anytime the moon is in the sensitive sign like Pisces and Neptune is there, I'm always like a little extra cautious of illusion, disillusion, like kind of being hypnotized, being in like a little too submissive of a state, ready to accept anything, just know that it's a passing energy. And if the middle of April feels a little bit confusing, feels a little bit disillusioned, that does clear up pretty quickly. On April 19th, we have our second new moon in Aries. This is potent. This is special. This is another opportunity to make new beginnings, have new starts. Aries is a cardinal sign, loves to try new things and start new cycles and be a leader and take charge. So this is also our first eclipse of this season, of this eclipse season. We have a total solar eclipse on April 19th, and that is going to be a big moment. This is going to be a really amazing, another opportunity to take a new start before we have these retrograded planets starting to happen. The next day, April 20th, the sun moves into Taurus. We have the start of Taurus season. And then we have Mercury on the 21st of April going retrograde in the sign of Taurus. So we're going to have a big entry into Taurus season, but not before we get another kick in the pants on our way out of the sign of Aries. And moving on sort of into the last week of April, we start to see we have Mercury in retrograde. So things start to slow down quite a bit. Our minds slow down. And then just looking one day into May, on May 1st, we have Pluto stationing to go retrograde. So by the end of April, lots of energies again have shifted, and we are looking at another month of hanging out together here in the cosmic community, because I will be here every week for you, Tuesdays at 4:30. I appreciate you very much, and I hope you have a good day, and I will talk to you next week. Peace. Thank you for listening to the Cosmic Community Podcast. More can be found at kpov.org/thecosmiccommunity.